Welcome to my channel, to everyone who's new here and of course to those of you who are back again. Great to have you here. In this video we will take a look together at possible scenarios for the price development of several altcoins. Things remain exciting, so make sure to watch until the end. You will also find another video on my channel where I analyze Bitcoin and Ethereum daily. That's definitely worth checking out too. And if you also want to trade with cheap fees, then I can recommend you mexc. Mexc has a similar trading volume to Bitget and Bybit. The only difference are the taker fees. And if you want to get an additional 20% discount on the low taker fees, then you can use my referral link. The link is in the description. Also 100 pairs, 0 fees, just on mexc. You can see popular coins like Solana, SUI, Cardano, AVAX, HBAR, ONDO. All those coins are also in my daily analysis. So let's get to XRP. What we have said about XRP is, all in all, my portfolio is in losses between 8 to 9% at the moment. Yeah, it's getting lower now, so basically slowly I'm getting into profits. It's not a big deal. We have said here it's short, and I have also did a community post where I said, okay, I'm going to put more money into my short positions. So I scaled up a bit more to get my average price a bit more up. We had here a rising wedge, which didn't break to the downside. So basically, what I wanted to do is, if we would have broke that to the downside, then I would have increased my position size for the push to the downside. Didn't happen, it went up. So basically, this push to the upside, I used it to increase my position size for mostly every coin. And what I see for XRP is, we have said if we get a breakout over the green trend line, then it would be positive. We got the breakout, the first sign of it. The retest looks like that it's going to fail. But even if it's going to fail, it looks to me that it might be even bullish. The first indication is there that this might be our low. So what is going to happen, and what would I do if certain scenarios get validated? I first think that we are going to get another pullback, maybe even down to $1.97. If we do, then I can say I can take profits here, but I can also take profits everything lower than $2.07. This whole area should be take profit area. If we don't break the $1.97 to the downside, then I can say this was our low. Because if we get good support here and after that a nice push to the upside, like for example this, where we can draw another trend line, if we get then support and break that to the upside, then I think XRP is going to pump up. And that's what I actually don't want, but I don't trade what I want. Yeah, I wanted actually to get XRP back into the area $1.60, $1.50 in that area. So there we can actually think about far better entries for long positions. But if the market isn't giving that sign to me, then why should I wait it and miss the whole push to the upside? So basically $1.97, if that breaks to the downside, then I would say, okay, XRP is bearish again, because this can also be a huge rising wedge. If we hold support and break a bullish pattern, if we develop one to the upside, then it would be super bullish, and then I would also close my short position for XRP completely and look for long entries. So what about Dogecoin? So for Dogecoin we have said, okay, rising wedge, broke to the downside, but didn't get so low as we wanted, as the chart pattern also told us. In the end of the day, I have said, okay, we can even get more up to form a double top pattern. And we even invalidated the double top pattern with this push to the upside. And also here, we wicked over the 16.73 cents, which I think are essential to break to the upside if we want to be bullish for Dogecoin. Here was also a fair value gap. So basically, it got close. The thing is, Dogecoin isn't looking that bullish like XRP. XRP is still, I think, over the green trend line, or did I mislooked it? Yeah, it's still over the green trend line. Dogecoin already broke that to the downside. Some other coins aren't even over the green trend line. They didn't got it, like for example Ethereum. I think Cardano and Solana aren't over it yet. We have to check it in a few minutes. So, same here. Possible rising wedge. If that breaks to the downside at currently 16 cents, then I would be bearish for Dogecoin at least into the price area of 15 cents, where we also hold support. If we don't break the 15 cents to the downside, if we hold here support or even a step higher, then we can actually say that this here was probably our low, or even one before, I have to check. No, this one might be our low, and we can reach for higher prices. I personally think that we have mixed signals. Some coins are bullish, some are still bearish, so it's difficult to say where the market is going to go. Are the altcoins leading us to the downside, or is Bitcoin leading us to the upside? Yeah, who is going to be stronger? And that is going to be a question which we have to look for next week. Yet I think tomorrow, since it's Sunday, we won't see it. But next week, I think it's going to get decided where the market is going to go. Like I said, I'm still in short positions, so this whole up move doesn't look impulsive to me. It looks like a correction. And still, I think we can still get to the downside for a pullback, and then we have to see and track, is it just going to get us a higher low on the bigger time frame and we shoot over, or are we getting into our fair value gaps, which we actually wanted to go in with this low, but we didn't get that low to fill the fair value gaps lower than us. So basically, another lower low is necessary in my view. So I would just keep that drawing, and we will check that tomorrow. So Solana. Okay, I have said Solana didn't break the green trend line to the upside, but we were over it at least. And now we are getting the pullback. I would see if the 119 US dollar hold, then Solana would be bullish to me. If we break that to the downside, and that's here the cross, which I think is very important, of one of our most important support levels, and a possible, I wouldn't even call it now a rising wedge, but also here the upwards support. If we break that to the downside, then I can say, okay, $112 might be our target, since we have support there. And if we also break that to the downside, then I would say, okay, we can still get a new low, lower than 95 US dollar, maybe somewhere here. But yeah, let's wait for the 119 US dollar first. I don't think that we are getting now this push to the upside. I doubt it. I think first pullback, and then we have to see, is it going to be a bullish pattern, or are we going to sell off very quick again, like we had in last week and the week before? Yeah, so basically that's my current stage with Solana and most likely every other coin. So Cardano. What we tracked was a possible double top pattern, which could have been a triple top pattern, but we also invalidated this pattern and broke to the upside. I have tracked another resistance at 66.5 cents, where we held support and resistance several times. Over that we have to go and get a nice push to the upside. Then I would say Cardano is bullish for me if we break the 66.5 cents to the upside, or 66.6 cents. What I also see is here a panel, and those panels are most likely tending to break to the downside. And this is currently the 63 cents. If we break that to the downside, then we can fall back to 58 cents to the support. And if we break the 58 cents to the downside, that's why I will make it red, then I think we are going back into our lows from here. And also the chances will increase that we might see the 48 cents to 45 cents for Cardano again. So, like I said, bullish it would be over 66.6 cents. But still, I'm counting with a pullback, and we have to see how the pullback is going to develop. Yeah, are we going to get a falling wedge? Are we going to get a downside panel, which we then break to the upside? Then it would be super bullish. But if we sell off quick, like we have done the days before, for example, like this move to the downside, this move to the downside, this move to the downside, if we sell off like this, then I think the chances are high that we might see this area. If we get a nice corrective sell-off and a slow one, and we can draw trend lines and chart patterns, for example here, a beautiful falling wedge. If that breaks then to the upside, then I would say Cardano is bullish. So a bit different is render. We have said, okay, this might be a possible double top pattern, but we needed the $3.65 breaking to the downside. If so, then we could have fall down to $3.47. It didn't happen. Why? Because we broke to the upside. And we have said render is the only coin which we don't short because it's very strong. And I'm still saying the same. Here I found even an old resistance, $4.20. I can make it longer. So we can even go up to $4.20, where we also have fair value gaps right here. So even if the cryptos are selling off, I think render is just going to get like a dip like this. Then going up while the other coins aren't doing higher highs, render is doing one. Then the other coins sell off. Render also, but holding a higher low. And I think that is going to be a high chance to get up to $4.20. Everything what is near to $4.20, I would be careful, because this is resistance. And we had already this push to the upside with huge fair value gaps lower than us. So it might be possible that we get rejected here. The other coins are too bearish and getting new lows. And render might do this then, just to pump up from here then. Yeah, so I would look for this scenario for render. So far I can't trade render at the moment. Not short, but also not long, because the push already to the upside, in my view, is most likely done. We have already made 60% to the upside with render. Do I want to get into 420, for example? Then it's just going to be 8%. But if we break to the downside and get into that fair value gap, because fair value gaps are dangerous. Yeah, remember what happened to render before when we had a huge fair value gap. I'm not sure if I can find it that quick. But if we drop, then it can drop 15 to 20%. So the risk to reward ratio is not good for render at the moment. Maybe we can see that. Yeah, right here. So this here was a huge fair value gap. The same we have here right now. And after that is, we came down, held support. If we would have longed it, okay, nice. We could have done a nice push to the upside. But what happened then is, we filled that fair value gap. So that's why, because I would be careful with render and I'm not going to long it, since the gains are already done with render. So ONDO looks, yeah, 50% positive, 50% negative. Yeah, it's 50-50. Maybe you have seen it on the 4-hour chart. We are in the falling wedge. We broke that to the upside. We retested it. It's very positive. But the issue is that we are not getting over resistance. 3 times in a row, or even 4 times, if we zoom in, 4 times, we didn't got over that level here. We didn't got a sustainable breakout with a nice retest. Yeah, for example, look into render. If we look here, and then maybe you see what I mean. So this here is currently ONDO. Yeah, it's still like this. And it's not getting over the resistance. Render did push to the upside sustainable. Here again, we had resistance. We broke that to the upside. We retested it, got up even more. So that is what I want to see for ONDO to be bullish. If not, then we are just getting more liquidity building up below us. And that might cause a flash crash. Might be possible. I think it's positive that the orange trend line is holding at the moment. Yeah, we have retested this 2 times already. But still, we have a fair value gap here. And we have the first sign of a bigger selling. So I would be careful. 87 cents, I think, are our point where we can say if we break that to the downside, then we can reach for prices down to 82 cents. Or even lower, depending on how fast we are going to sell for ONDO. So, SUI was also stronger than expected. Yeah, we have tracked a rising wedge, which broke to the downside, which even retested our rising wedge. But we went up over $2.27. And also we retested the $2.27. I can make this trend line a bit longer. Like this, perfect retest. So same for SUI. It looks like that this right here was our low. And what we might see soon is maybe even a bigger pullback, which is just a higher low on the bigger time frame, and then the next push. So I'm still short for SUI, but I'm looking more carefully now because I want to get my short positions in profit. I want to close them in profit for sure. I don't want to do losses. But if the $2.27 breaks to the downside, then I can think about prices getting back to $2.15. I will make you a price mark here. If that also breaks to the downside, then $2.05 would be our next target. And once we are at the $2.05, then I think that fair value gap is going to get closed quick by a wick. Oh, that was nice, sad. Once we get here, then I think we might drop quick and get a nice buy up. And then this won't be a sustainable breakout of this red trend line. That's what I'm looking for at the moment for SUI. And I think SUI has now, it looks like, that it has huge potential to the upside, similar to render. And yeah, that's what I want to say with SUI. I can't long it at the moment. I'm still in my short. I increased even my position size in my short trade. So let's see what SUI is going to do. I still count on that pullback. So HBAR. Yeah, it's similar to ONDO, actually, just on the bigger time frame. It looks like that we are in a box. And if we break it to the downside, which is currently the 16.5 cents, then this fair value gap is maybe not going to get close to 100%, but we will get into that area. And this should be our take profit. For HBAR, I also think that once we get a break to the downside, 16.5 cents, then I think it will get even very quick. And there we have to be careful, because I think this fair value gap is so huge that we might wick into it very fast. It can happen even within 15 minutes with a quick washout of the market and then a nice buy up. We have to see what is going to happen with HBAR. I still have this red trend line coming from the downside. If we break that to the downside, which is currently 16 cents, then I can say that the chances are high that we are getting maybe into the area of 14 cents, 14.3 cents right here. Oh, like this. And this is my game plan for HBAR at the moment. So I hope that I gave you some valuable information. I know that yesterday I've said, okay, we are short. I'm still short. I increased my position size even more. And yes, I'm also in losses, maybe even a bit less than 8 to 9% at the moment, because the market sold off a bit. But yeah, I know that everyone wants me to be correct. I understand that. Yeah, I'm also not. I also want to be profitable for sure. Yeah, I'm going to tell you how I trade, how I manage my risk. I'm also showing you how I manage my losses, for example. With community posts, I want to do it better in the next time. So I will also keep you updated. If you want to get updated, then I would be happy. Then you can actually turn on the notifications so you don't miss something. Yeah, it would be also bad if I do a community post, nobody reads it because nobody has notifications on, and then you look into your phone and think like, oh, what happened here? So that's why I want to continue with that in the future. I think it's a good tool to use. Yeah, and I want to thank you for your patience, and thank you for watching. We see each other tomorrow. Bye.